The woman was too stunned to speak. Spoiler warning for Sunrise on the Reaping. It's the 7th and final day of the 50th Hunger Games. Haymitch wakes from nightmares up in a tree with Wellie by his side. Silka is no longer at the base of the tree, but Haymitch expects her to return and kill them as soon as she can. And then he notices black smudges on his fingers, and he realizes where it came from. A spare fuse hidden inside of Maisley's necklace, which he'd been fiddling with last night when extracting its copper medallion to make that potato light. He'd gotten the same black residue on his hands after he set up the water tank bomb. And before the game started, Beatty's last words to Haymitch before they were interrupted pre-interviews were, "And if Ampert fails to show, we've also replaced the blank." He was interrupted. Beatty had to have meant the cord of Maisley's necklace was replaced with a fuse. All the supplies he needs for a bomb are at the ready, even candy wrappers to use for tinder. Haymitch brainstorms what to do with this goodbye gift and determines his only attainable target is the cornucopia, the very symbol of their despicable show. For his poster to be effective, he needs it to be shown on screen, and his plan is to get enough calories in Wellie that he'd be sure she could last, tuck her somewhere safe, and he could stage a showdown with Silka at the cornucopia. Try and take out her and the cornucopia in the same explosion. If he somehow survives it, he figures the game makers will kill him, and then Wellie wins. He has one potato left to give her, but he needs to cook it first so she has a better chance of fully digesting it. Wellie wakes up and whispers to Haymitch not to leave her again. Haymitch asks if she'll be alright if he leaves the tree to bake her the potato, but again, she tells him not to leave her, and she threatens to follow him down the tree, and he concedes that she can go with him. It's tough because she is far too ill to climb down or even hold on to Haymitch. Her arms are so weak, so he does a miner's carry and slowly climbs down from the tree. Once they're down, Haymitch lays Wellie on the ground and gives her some chocolate to munch on. She's cold to the touch and she can barely move. Haymitch needs to make a fire to warm her up and bake her that food ASAP. The issue is that the nearby wood is damp from last night's rain, so Haymitch needs to look elsewhere. Again, Wellie does not want him to leave her, but it'd be too challenging to carry her and the wood, so he tries to hide her. He gives Maisley's loaded blowgun to Wellie to comfort and protect her. He carries her over to a hiding spot. It's a tree that's mostly hidden behind grapevines and leaves, and he says he'll be back in no time. However, Haymitch travels further than intended, looking for usable dry wood, and then he decides to turn back and feed Wellie raw potato slices anyway because it's not looking good. What he really needs is a sponsor gift, and this wish comes true. A picnic basket floats down with "Courtesy of the Capitol" printed on a card. Inside the basket is an exact replica of the pitcher from Plutarch's library. The pitcher has that white cylinder resting in the spiral staircase, the golden eagle perched on the lid. Inside is cool, creamy milk. Oh,
Pizza!
Alarmed, Haymitch ponders two starkly different possibilities for why he received this. It could be a genuine gift from Plutarch by way of Mags, a pint of sustenance, a draft of encouragement, and signaling that he should give Wellie this milk to keep her alive. Or, and big or, this could be a menacing message from President Snow, a trap. He imagines this all in Snow's voice: your bombs, your plots, even your flint striker from your pretty little bird. And now you have a choice. Do you drink the milk, give it to your sickly ally, pour it on the ground? Because naturally, you suspect it's laced with poison. What do you do, Haymitch Abernathy? You must know that the eyes of Panem, and mine in particular, are watching your every move. If Haymitch doesn't give starving Wellie this milk, he looks like a fraud trying to kill her, so he'll win. But he's 99% sure this milk is poisonous. It wouldn't make sense for Plutarch to publicly link himself to Haymitch after all the trouble he's caused, and this Golden Eagle staircase is a trademark of the Heavensby Mansion. Plus, since Plutarch was on the filming squad for District 12, it's likely illegal for him to sponsor him anyway. So Haymitch comes to this realization thinking, it's from Snow, this milky death. I am completely in Snow's power and his to manipulate. I am trapped into doing his bidding in the Hunger Games, the best propaganda the Capitol has. Woof. Bad vibes. Snow has no intention of letting a newcomer win, and if Haymitch doesn't want to die a traitor to the districts as Wellie's killer by neglect, by withholding this poison milk, then he must drink the milk himself. As he ponders if he could pretend to trip and drop the pitcher, he hears the cannon. Haymitch throws the pitcher aside, cracks open, and he runs the short distance back to Wellie. When he gets there, he freezes in horror. Silka stands like a statue, her snot green outfit splattered in bright red. In her right hand, her axe. Her left holds Wellie's head, eyes still open, mouth agape. Huh? The only movement, the only sound comes from the blood dripping into the pine needles on the forest floor. Wellie's body lies crumpled in a heap a few feet away. I could live 10,000 years and never erase this sight from my memory. Yeah, me neither, Haymitch. Oh my God. Haymitch doesn't yell at Silka. He hisses, "What did you do?" Silka looks somewhat dazed and holds up Wellie's head as she says, "She attacked me." The lone blow dart is hanging from Silka's sleeve. There's some back and forth between Silka and Haymitch. She's saying that she's doing what she must to get home. He's saying Silka will be scorned forever for doing this to Wellie, and he grabs his axe, getting ready to rumble. Haymitch thinks, we're neither of us going home. I will kill her, and Snow will kill me. These games will have no victor. Silka tosses Wellie's head aside and declares that she will be the one to honor the Capitol. And then they're off to the races, both fighting with an axe. Silka then makes an intricate swing that opens a gash across Haymitch's gut and knocks his axe out of his hand. She gets him in a headlock, and Haymitch manages to get his knife from his belt and jabs over his shoulder blindly. Silka lets go, and he scrambles away without looking back. She's coming after him, though. Haymitch ends up at the burnt part of the hedge maze, and he goes through the hedge to the cliff area. Silka stumbles after him, and he sees that his knife gouged out her eyeball. Hello? Silka launches her axe at him. She throws it, and Haymitch lets himself collapse to the dirt as the axe whistles over his head into the canyon. When he dropped, he was just thinking about avoiding the axe. It's not until he's down that he remembers the rebounding force field. After a beat, the axe spins back and lodges itself in Silka's head. Then they're both on the ground, still alive, waiting for the other to die. A hovercraft is floating over them. Haymitch tries to get a handkerchief from his pocket to use on his wound, and instead finds his stash of bomb supplies. He'd forgotten about that due to everything going on. Haymitch uses his last bits of energy to take off the necklace of sunflower ammo, put in the blasting cap, bite off extra fuse, crumple up the courtesy of the Capitol card and candy wrappers, and he takes off his flint striker, giving it a kiss. Haymitch silently says his goodbyes to his loved ones, especially Lenore Dove, and then he hears this irritating, grating voice, a game maker. Haymitch Abernathy, you are to stop all activity immediately. Undeterred, Haymitch picks up his quartz. The cannon fires, signaling Silka's death. Trumpets play. Haymitch won, but he keeps going, creating a little flame. Bullets are shooting down around his hands from the hovercraft. He isn't hit, though. The game maker continues, becoming more frenzied. Freeze! Haymitch Abernathy, you have been... Drop that! Drop that now! Haymitch lights the fuse. You don't know what you're doing. Stop! Don't throw it! But he does. Haymitch launches the sunflower into the canyon. He places the flint striker over his heart, and he's blacking out, thinking, a blast rocks the world. My last sensations are of the slippery coils of my intestines in one hand, the songbird pressing against my skin, and the earth quaking beneath me. I die happy. And with that, the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell, are over.